I'm going to show you guys how to use the importance of switch nodes and how switch nodes are very powerful by making this post-it note here. And you can actually have this post-it note and you can change the colors easily by just coming into the switch node here. And if I come over here, I can change the colors of my switch of the paper. I can add lines. Right, I can even change the image that we have on there if I wanted to, but I only have one image in at the moment. I can even change the color of that image. It's red. Here I can make it white. So I'm going to quickly show you this setup, and it's really powerful and it's a really cool way to understand some of the basics. If you're new here and you want to learn Blender Octane, I got a free 101 guide that will help you get up to date, started with Blender Octane for free. Links down in the description. First thing first, here is my paper that I made, my post-it, which is super easy, and I just kind of deformed it. It's just a cube. I mean, it was just a plane. Oh man, I love it. Oh, the render is going on the other screen. That's on the other version of Blender. Turn that off. You cannot have two render engines running at the same time in Octane. All right, first thing first, I like to make my grid smaller because I'm working in real world scale. It's very small. It's the size of a post-it. If I take Dennis, you can see there's this foot. It's really small, right? Cool. And I also like to kill the background right now because it's kind of distracting for what I'm kind of doing here. Go to alpha channel. All right, nice. There it is. Now we're going to pop this open here. We're going to close this down. First thing first, I'm going to add in a material. This material is going to be our paper. And right now, of course, it's too shiny. I'm going to go to GGX. I'm going to crank up the roughness. And I'm going to bring down the specular a little bit like that. So there is our paper. Now, the first thing I want to be able to do is change the colors of my paper, okay? The first thing we're going to do is come over here. And I'm going to add in a RGB node, RGB color node. And I'm going to go 1, 2, and I'm going to go 3. This gives 3 sets of colors. We'll have the classic one. And then we'll have the blue. And then we'll just do a white post-it, right? These are my 3 colors here. I'm going to press J to group those guys just so I can have things moving nice and easy. So these are going to be the color of our post-it. And then I'm also going to add in another one. I'm going to add in a black one. This is going to be our writing color, okay? So there it is. SX0 lines them all up. What we need to do is add in a composite node. I'm going to add in a composite texture node, and this is where all the magic happens. We're going to plug this into the albedo, and then what we're going to do is click number 1. Number 1 is going to put out this node here, and that's going to be our first node, and we're going to use this to change between the color of our paper. So next I'm going to add in a, what am I going to add in? Oh, the texture switch node, which is the star of the show. See, here it is, texture switch node. And then we're going to plug that into the input. And that's going, how many colors do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to give it 4 inputs. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Plug those inputs straight in here like that. Boom, there it is. How do we switch? We go 1, 2, 3. There it is. Those are our colors right there. You can switch in between those, okay? Good. That's going to be our first one. This is the color paper. I'm going to go ahead and press J. And then boom, I'm going to quickly press N. And I'm going to pop this open. And we're just going to say color paper. Boom, that is our color paper. Next, what we want to do is set up those lines. You don't have to, it's optional because some posters don't have that, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to add the lines in. So what I'm going to do is go to our next one. I'm actually just going to copy this, shift duplicate, put it up here, and I'm going to plug this into the next one, into 2. Everything turns white because this is overlapping. This is right now, it's on normal mix source over. It's literally just putting it on top. So that's why we don't see anything. But if I take this opacity, pick it to 0, now we can see down below. So we need to make a mask. We want to mask out the lines. Quick and easy way to do that. If we go into nodes, we go morale, blah, 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 blah. Grab this node. We're going to put it in the frame. Now what we're going to do is I want this also to have color. Well, actually, no, we just want to do the mask first. We're just going to do the opacity. So I'm actually going to take this and plug this into opacity, right? Actually, no, we're going to leave that. That's going to be the color. This is going to be our mask, the opacity. If I plug it in now, boom, this is what we get, these rings. We don't want these rings. We want rectangles. It has rings, circles, frames, and we also have rectangles. I want rectangles. And then we'll just go ahead and size up our rectangles for what we want. Just some lines here, something like that. And then if you come here to shift, go to 0, that shifts it out. There it is. I'm going to pop out a UV transform, and I'm going to bring that into the mix over here like that. I want these patterns to be a little bit more smaller, like something like, there is our edge, and that is typically our mask. Now right now we are masking out the white area. Black is basically white white reveals, black conceals. The black portions are the inside of the box. The white portion are the lines. We can flip that, okay? So I'm just gonna come in here and add in an invert node, texture invert, put that there. That flips it. Now we have the lines are white on our paper, which is really nice. So no matter what, if we change our color should come through. There it is, right? And of course, it's not going to show up on the white, but there it is on the black, okay? Really, the last two colors are just for the text that I'm going to be using. Or let's say we wanted to give these lines that color. So we can come up in here, and I'll say I want the lines to be either white or black. So I'm going to plug that into here, and I'm going to plug this into here. So now we can actually turn these white or black, or if we really want it to, we can add all of them and just change them to any color of the 4 colors we have selected. So there is the blue, and there is the white, and then again, white, black, blue, yellow. Okay, so obviously it doesn't make sense. Let's add one more in there so we can have a different color so we can really see the difference. Let's go red, and then we'll add another input, and this one will just be for this. So here, if we go to 5, there it is, it's red. Okay, so we've got that. What I'm going to do is, I don't want to have the lines. Maybe you want the lines or maybe you don't. Well, let's add another texture switch node in here, right? Why not? We can add this texture switch node, duplicate this, and we're going to plug this into the mask, right? And right now, I'm going to remove all these and just have the extra one here. So we have full on, or we can have the mask, right? So let me go back to 1. 1 shows the lines, 2 doesn't show the lines. So there it is. Like, I just want it to be whatever color is showing here. And actually, what we need to do is add in a RGB color, come here, put this here, and change it to black. Boom. So that's going to hide, mask out, and so it will reveal whatever our color paper is. So now if I just want to go straight yellow, because I have yellow selected here, or if I want to have lines, I can come over here, change back to 1. Now I can have lines on my paper, right? Okay, boom. One last section here, and we're coming close. The next section, I'm going to grab this, grab this, shift duplicate it. Next is be our writing, or whatever we're going to use to write. I'm going to plug this in. We need another output, bring in the third output, plug this into here, and this is going to be whatever we're going to use for our writing on this. It has to be a black and white value mask. So I'm just going to basically come in here. I'm going to grab an RGB image. I'm going to pop this open, and I'm just going to quickly grab something that's on my hard drive. All right, boom, there it is. It's just a black and white mask on top of here, but you notice everything is masking out everything. So what we need to do, again, we need to build up a mask for this to allow the paper to come through, to allow the lines to come through. And again, it's also on the back side here. We don't want that. We want to separate that, right? So I'm going to actually lift this up just so we can see something there, so we can flip over there. Okay. Now what we want to do is we're going to add in a mixed texture node. Let's add in a mixed texture, drop that into here, and we're going to plug that into the first texture here. And then what I want to do is grab a polygon side node. This is going to say, hey, I want the top to be black, I want the bottom to be white, I want just a plain straight up mask. And we plug that into there. And now, if you know here, boom, boom, there it is. But what I want to do also is be able to hide the color so the color can show through of the paper. So what we need to do is make another mask, add in an RGB color, and we're just going to put that, plug it into here. It's going to white. We want black. So black conceal, white reveals, right? There we go. We have that like that, and we have this like this. All right. Okay. Now we need to plug in also our paper. Hang on one second. And I think I have something backwards. Yeah, I think my masks are backwards. Hang on. This should be on the bottom. This should be on the top. Polygon side. There we go. And then this should be on the bottom. There we go. So let me just kind of do a little bit of housekeeping there. Now there it is. Okay, good. Now we got our writing on top, nothing on the back. Color is being all black. So what we need to do is plug in our paper colors. And let's go ahead and plug in, what do we have? Yellow. I'm going to go ahead and go yellow. Yellow, we had blue, and then we had white, and then we had black. Actually, we can just bring that red value in too. Why not? Just let red, bring that in there. All right, so now there is our writing. And our writing, again, this is a mask also here. So if we come here and hold down, look, that's white and black. Remember, black conceal, white reveals. So there is an edge map on there, which I'm not worried about. But I want to reverse this because I want to be able to see. So what we can do is, many people will tick this invert node, and this kind of does the job. But I don't want to do that because later on, you might have a problem where you don't know that you did this, and it's kind of hard, or you share this to file somebody, and they're like, why is it not acting right? So don't do it here. It's better to do it in the node flow. This is something I learned from the guys who do compositing. They like to show the nodes and do less of these little internal switches. So we'll just go invert, texture invert. It's the same thing. We're just doing it visually so we can see that it's being inverted, right? And invert texture. What happened? How come the color got weird there? And it wasn't doing that before. Did I get the right node? Oh, I know what's going on. Check this out. This thing right here is plugged into the wrong place. Okay, that shouldn't be plugged into there. Polygon side node. Yeah, that's totally wrong. Okay, check it out. Because right here we're building our mask, and I have our mask plugged into the input. This should be into here. Opacity. Okay, this is what happens when you're trying to do something too fast and you mess up. So I messed up. That goes into the mask. So this whole setup, excuse me, goes into the mask. Now we're seeing it properly, right? There are the lines coming through and it shouldn't be on that side. Yep, it's not on that side. But here it in, let me check that back. This should be, yeah, like that, turned off. Again, what I want to do, black conceal, white reveals. Now I should be able to bring back in my invert node. If I can spell, texture invert. Now we can be able to put that in here. Boom, there it is. Now it inverts it. But actually we don't even need it because it's already correct. So there it is. That's exactly what I needed to see. And now this top one where we put our colors is going to change the color of our text. So we plug this into the input of this. There we go. And now it's yellow because we chose yellow here. So if I come here and change this to black, which is number, I probably should have put these in the proper order. This should have been a 1, but I'm just going to change it. Boop. There it is. Blue. There it is. 1. There it is. Boom. There it is. And 6 has nothing, so it goes back to white. Boom. And then the way you move this centered up, you can just add in a texture input node. G, bring that over here, drop that into here. And then I can just move this however and wherever I want. Something like that, right? Boom. If you want to scale that up, 1.5, grab that, kind of just boom, there it is, Blender. Okay, and now we have this fully procedural-like setup. We can change the color. I mean, you can just multiply this, post it on a bunch of different things, and you can have it in different colors. We can change the color of our text. We can come over here and then go back here. We can turn off our lines. There it is. I don't want lines. We just want the post-it. Or if you do want the lines, you can come back over here. You can also change the color of your lines, right? There's the color of our lines. Boom, boom, boom. I like the lines off. But also, look at it. It's not on the back. The writing is not on the back. And we lost the camera, so I'm not going to worry about that. Just turn it off. And then again, if we come down to our color paper, we can change our color paper to whatever we want here. Boom, boom, boom. And we only have 4. So here is the setup. I'll have the file here in the community if you guys want to go ahead and download it and take a look at it. Again, this is something that I learned how to do from Alex here in our community. And I just wanted to redo the steps to teach myself how to do exactly what I learned from him the first time. And again, to learn something, it's better to repeat the process over and over and over so you can really engrave it and learn something other than just following a tutorial like most people do and just clicking and clicking, and if something goes wrong, you don't know how to fix it or work out the problem. As if you're new here and you want to learn Blender Octane, I got a free 101 guide that will help you get up to date, started with Blender Octane for free. Links down in the description.